YouTube. What's going on, man? Back at it again with another video. It's your boy, Numbers Fan Jay. Sunday's week six for Sunday has been completed. Lot to talk about here. I guess we'll just get right into the analysis. Giants at Patriots Thursday night. Patriots won at 35-14. The big theme here was the Patriots offense didn't look that good. They got multiple opportunities due to Daniel Jones throwing 3 interceptions and just 1 touchdown. They scored off a block punt and a fumble recovery. They did score 21 points offensively still, so they found a way to score, which Brady does usually. But this offense just didn't look like it normally does. Like, it didn't function the way that we thought it would. They did get the win, though. I picked them to win, so got that one right. Panthers at Buccaneers. Panthers got away with this one, 37-26, the London game. We talked about the Buccaneers' run defense being great. They only allowed 59 yards rushing. They shut down McCaffrey for the most part. He did score 1 touchdown. Jameis Winston was also a story in this game. 1 touchdown and just 5 interceptions. 5 interceptions. Kyle Allen, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Now 5-0 as a starter, as many people know now. I picked the Panthers to win that game, so they got out with the win. Starting the early games on Sunday, aside from the London game, Eagles at Vikings. I picked the Eagles to win this game, but the Vikings just controlled it. Their defense just proved to be better than the Eagles' offense. It's that simple with this game. They only allowed 3.8 yards per carry, so they won the battle, as we talked about, the rush offense versus the rush defense. They forced 3 turnovers. Kirk Cousins went 22 for 29, 333 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. We talked about him. He stepped up. Carson Wentz went 26 of 40, 306 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. But the player of the day right here for the Vikings was Stephon Diggs with 7 catches for 167 yards and 3 touchdowns. We talked about me dropping him from my fantasy team, and this is what happens. This is what happens when I drop players. They go off. It's crazy. But Redskins at Dolphins, the toilet bowl, we talked about it. We picked the Redskins. The Redskins won 1-0 under new coach Bill Callahan, interim coach. Adrian Peterson had 118 yards, so a little flashback in time for him. But Redskins finally get a win. Dolphins continue to lose. 31-24, Texans at Chiefs. I picked the Chiefs to win. They lost again, so I think the trend is working. I think it's working. I'm just going to keep picking them, and we're going to see if they can keep losing. We talked about both defenses allowing a lot of points. That held up. The Chiefs' run defense being bad, that held up. They allowed 192 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 to Deshaun Watson, 1 to Carlos Hyde. And time of possession, once again, goes to the opposing team when it comes to Kansas City football. Kansas City only had the ball for 20 minutes and 12 seconds. Houston had the ball for 39 minutes and 48 seconds. That is absolutely crazy. Saints at Jaguars. We picked the Saints. The Saints won this one 13-6. Not a lot to talk about here. Talked about the Jags' turnovers being a problem. -1 this game, and they only lost by a touchdown. So it's that simple. We're at that point in the season where 1 or 2 turnovers can lose you the whole game. That's what happened here with the Jaguars. Gardner Minshew with 14-29, 163 yards, no touchdowns, and that 1 pick. That 1 pick ruined it for him. 32-28, Seahawks over Browns. We talked about the Seahawks being good. We picked the Seahawks. This is their first win in Cleveland since 2001. The Seahawks had a +4 turnover differential in this game. We talked about turnovers being a problem for Cleveland. Russell Wilson still looking like an MVP. 23 out of 33, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. On the other side of that, we have Baker Mayfield, who just can't seem to stop turning the ball over. But watching this game, you can see that a few of his turnovers aren't his fault. His receivers are literally just dropping the ball, just dropping it right in the defender's hands for an interception. I think they should have a category for tipped interceptions. That's just my opinion. But it is what it is. Mayfield went 22 out of 37, 249 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. So not a good day for the Browns. Browns fall to 2-4. Tough. Bengals at Ravens. Told y'all Lamar would have a big day. He did, not passing the ball, but running the ball. So Lamar's stat line was as follows: 21 out of 33, 236 yards, no passing touchdowns, no picks, but he did run for 19 carries, 152 yards, and a touchdown. So they really didn't have to do a lot to win this game. They won this game 23-17, but I did pick the Ravens, got that one right as well. 49ers at Rams. I told y'all again about the 49ers. They got the dub again. So, talked about the 49ers running the ball. The Rams actually shut that down. So, wasn't a lot to see there. But defensively, we talked about this 49ers D-line. I said that they're top 5. No, this is the best D-line in football. Yes, I'm making that statement. Jared Goff went 13 of 24. 78 yards and a fumble. No touchdowns at all. Eliminate the Jimmy G turnovers for the 49ers, and I don't know who can beat this team. He had 1 fumble, 1 interception in this game that kept points off the board for them. They also missed a field goal, so we're not even seeing this offense at full power. So just imagine if he played better, if their kicker made more kicks, how much wider the margin would be at the end of the game. Great job. 49ers going 5-0. Falcons at Cardinals. The Falcons find another way to lose games. They missed the extra point at the end that would have tied the game at 34. They lost this game 33-34. Both quarterbacks had over 300 yards, more than 3 or more touchdowns, and no interceptions. The defenses were easy to move the ball on. Very entertaining game, but very discouraging for Falcons fans who thought they could actually get a win this week. Cardinals get their first home win. Cowboys at Jets. You know, this game made me smile yet again. The Cowboys won the turnover battle. We talked about them not being good with the turnover differential so far through the season. They won this turnover battle +1 by the end of the game, but Sam Darnold came back. Le'Veon scored. First time that he scored since Sam Darnold played with them in week 1. They started this game 21-3. The Jets were up. Darnold, 23 out of 32, 338 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. He is my player of the week, pulling out the upset, coming back from mono, playing exceptionally well, getting this team going. Dak Prescott looking for a new contract, but has now lost 3 games in a row. 28 out of 40 passing, 277 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Not the best stats, not looking that great. Receivers didn't help, dropping a bunch of passes. The refs didn't help a lot either, especially on that play at the end. I thought it was pass interference. It was not called. You can't challenge inside of 2 minutes, though. So, but Cowboys lost that one, 22-24. Give you boys some credit. I called the upset. There came the upset. Titans at Broncos. I picked the Titans. The Titans lost. Mariota was benched. That's the biggest story from this game. 7 out of 18, 63 yards, 2 picks, no touchdowns. He was benched for Ryan Tannehill, who came in 13 out of 16, 144 yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. They allowed 7 sacks, so this offensive line remains a problem in pass protection. I don't know what the Titans need to do. Like I don't understand what exactly they need to do better. But it's definitely the offensive line and pass protection is definitely a problem. So So the Broncos come away with that win their second in a row. They face Kansas City on Thursday night. They've won 2 in a row. Kansas City's lost 2 in a row. But we'll get to that next video. Steelers at Chargers. Most disappointing game of the night, of course, me being a Chargers fan. You see, I don't even have on my jersey because I'm not touching another jersey until we win a game. That's how frustrated I am. I'm not touching another jersey until we win a football game. I'm especially not touching any more San Diego gear because I did that stuff 2 weeks in a row. We lost both of those games. I'm not touching that stuff anymore. This game, we were just one-dimensional to me. 32 yards rushing. Field had to throw 44 times. The Steelers defense led the league in turnovers and in takeaways coming into the game, and they left the game with 3 more, so they still lead the league. Hats off to them. Can't take any credit away from them. But 2 of those turnovers were really, I think, unforced errors. The backwards pass in the beginning of the game definitely was unforced. Phillip wasn't even hit when he released the ball. He just threw it out there. And Melvin wasn't ready for it, couldn't react in time. Ball went behind him. Turnover. Another one was the very last interception. We had a chance to come back in this game. We had 1 minute and 4 seconds. We're at like the 2-yard line. First play, Phillip throws it just out of there. Just throws it out of there. The guy should have picked it off the first time. He dropped it. The second time Phillip threw it out there, it was an easier interception. For whatever reason, Phillip just decides he just doesn't want to play anymore. I don't know why. I have no clue. But I don't know. It's frustrating to say the least. Keenan Allen, I don't know what happened there. 2 catches on 6 targets. I don't know why they didn't target him more. They targeted Mike Williams 10 times. He caught 5 of them, so he did all right for 72 yards. Hunter Henry, 100 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. Seemed like the only player on the field that wanted to play. He just came back from injury. Looking great. Melvin Gordon, 8 carries for 18 yards, has been unimpressive to say the least since he's come back. Our rushing attack has went way down since he came back. Trying to force feed him the ball. It's obvious when he gets on the field that we want to give him the ball, so the defense is ready. It's ridiculous, but it's time to flip the M to a dub. So we got the 3 dubs for you today. Who, what, and why? Who? So who's responsible for the Chargers being 2-4? Field has thrown 9 touchdowns, 8 turnovers. We've allowed the most points in the first quarter in the last 3 games in the NFL. So the slow starts definitely have to stop. What is wrong with the Cowboys? I do believe that injuries have played a small part, but not a huge part. But I do believe the Cowboys' issue is with the coaching and not with anything else. Why? Why are the Panthers winning without Cam? Well, Cam, when he was in the game, he's usually the focal point of the offense. And we've all figured out that Christian McCaffrey is the best player on this team. So I think there was kind of like a butting of the heads between those two. You couldn't see it on the field because you don't want to see that on the field. So they tried to hide as best as possible. But you can kind of tell with the play calling and just how everything was going when Cam was in the game. Cam wanted to be that engine that he was on his MVP campaign. And McCaffrey is coming up. He knows he's coming up. He knows he's a star in the league. He's going to demand the ball. So Kyle Allen comes in, he doesn't really have a chip on his shoulder. He doesn't really have an ego, so to speak. And he just comes in very selfless, giving McCaffrey the ball. Him giving McCaffrey the ball opens up everything else, and it makes it easier for the rest of the offense. He can get the ball to Greg Olsen, Curtis Samuel, even easier than Cam could because Cam was trying to run the ball. Kyle is trying to pass the ball. That's the difference between the two. Not to say that Cam can't run the ball because we know he can, but Cam definitely has to scale it back. If he comes back and they put him in, he has to scale back the running. make Christian McCaffrey the focal point of this offense every single game. With Cam's running ability and ability to extend plays with his legs, I believe that this offense can actually keep going and actually get better with Cam at quarterback. I don't think that Cam is a backup quarterback in this league. So, but my player of the week, as I said, Sam Darnold for the Jets. My coach of the week, Kyle Shanahan for the San Francisco 49ers, 5-0 for the first time in over a decade. So the 49ers definitely, Kyle Shanahan definitely has these guys rolling. Look for the predictions on Thursday as usual. I might start doing Super Bowl predictions here soon, possibly after about week 8. Start doing Super Bowl predictions. Thank y'all for watching, man. Drop a like, drop a comment, hit that notification bell, subscribe if you haven't already. It's your boy Jay. We out of here.